WAYNESUCKS.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk with Neil, call 751-WIOD in Dade, 524-WIOD in Broward. Outside the 305 area code, it's toll-free, 1-800-944-WIOD. And Cellular One customers can call pound IOD at no charge. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Packwood can't keep his pecker in his pants.
I put it in the ear and it made me ill. Now there ain't no cure and there ain't no pill for Ebola. Ebola. The doctor says I'm sick and I won't last long, but at least I'll survive till the end of the song. It's
You jackass.
Okay, 10:06. Oh, look at that. It worked. What the hell happened? It worked in there?
It's a keyboard thing, Tim says.
Oh, it's a keyboard thing. Well, let's take this one. You can get another one at Kresge's for about $15 to replace this piece of dreck we got in here. But, hey, it's good that we got all the corporate hotshots in town. Thank you so much, sparing no expense to provide us with the very best dreck that nobody else. Well, they get this at the flea market? Man, oh, man, there's 5-year-old kids all over America that got better computers than we got. So it's all set now? It works? It works.
I can't switch keyboards until you want to break because I got to reset it.
Oh, I don't care about that, but it will. Is this going to come back up in here or what? What's the deal now? Oh, yeah. Well, why do you have to switch it? Why don't you wait till 2 o'clock?
Okay.
Because what's-his-name is on tape. What's his name? So, anyway, happy Thursday to you. Here we are. By the way, how am I going to get paid today? We got nobody to sign the checks. Are they all out there at that listening meeting, or is that over now? Is that just for the morning show to get them all psychotic and nervous and start spreading those ugly rumors about Ron and Ron? I'll tell you, this is some outfit. First of all, let me just say this. Craig Barnes and Dave Joseph at the Sun-Sentinel, thank you for the nice coverage about my dear friend Alan Finkelson in the paper this morning. The only thing I do want to say is that for 20 years, this great man came to this town. I'll never forget, I first met Alan in 1976. I was at WKAT. We both came here about the same time. And he said to me, you just wait. He says, I'm going to bring this media in this town. I know they don't care about harness racing. They give us no coverage. They couldn't give a flying crap about Pompano Park. You watch. I'm going to bring these people around. 20 years later, as they're getting ready to bury my friend this afternoon, and nothing. Other than Dave Joseph, I'd say he's the only person in the media in this town, except yours truly, who has given any coverage of any kind. I'll remember a couple of years ago when we had the Breeders' Crown last time at Pompano Park, and Bernie Rosen had to call, thanks to Alan, screaming and carrying on, had to call up that jackass Segreto, that UM jackass. You can't spell Tony Segreto without UM, by the way. Had to call him up on the night of the Breeders' Crown and say, how come you don't have anything on the air? And so, it's just pathetic. So, Tony Segreto, I want to say people like you helped to put my friend in the ground. I just wanted to say that right now. But anyway, thanks, Dave Joseph, for at least being one guy who cared enough to write the very best. Also, really great news. Is he going to do that diet again today? You bet your sweet ass I am. I didn't want to admit it, but I gained about 4 or 5 pounds when I was on vacation there those last 3 or 4 uncontrollable days. And why not? I was on vacation having a good time. So here it is. I've been back like Monday through Wednesday is 3 full days. I lost back the weight plus an extra pound. I'm up to 15 now. Oh! Blood sugar was 60 this morning. I'm feeling great. And it's miraculous. So you can go off. I don't suggest that you go off of it because then it takes you about a couple of days to get back in ketosis again and get that thing working. But, man, did I eat yesterday. We had steak in here. We had filet mignon and New York strip and jumbo shrimp wrapped in bacon for lunch. And then for dinner, I went home on the grill, on the gas grill, and made 2 gigantic cheeseburgers with no bun, of course, and plenty of Jarlsberg cheese with no carbs. Get on the scale this morning, and it was fantastic. It was great. What a feeling of accomplishment. And plus, my pants are falling off on the floor. So that's the one piece of good news. Also, I'm still curious. Maybe somebody can explain to me the thing. I'm missing something. I pick up the paper this morning. I look in my sports section, which, of course, is the only part that anybody should really read. Lions blades hurt, fit of frustration cited. And what the hell was that all about?
I'm so mad at both of you guys.
Detroit Lions safety Benny Blades underwent surgery on his right hand Wednesday for an injury his coach said he sustained in frustration upon learning of the shooting death of his cousin. Are you seeing all the similarity? Is this like a copycat deal now? The surgery went as expected. Head trainer Kent Falb said we'll be able to better determine his prognosis after a week. Blades slammed his fist against an object after learning that his cousin... I mean, what is this? It's like the same old neurotic repetition, same crap all over again. He's got a big cut on his hand.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He slammed his fist against an object after learning that his cousin Charles Blades had been shot to death July 5 at the Plantation home of Seattle Seahawks receiver Brian Blades, Benny's brother. He said it happened in frustration.
Oh, man.
Said Lions coach Fat Wayne Fonts. The Lions opened training camp next Wednesday. Benny Blades' hand was treated in the Lions training room at the Pontiac Silverdome. He left without comment. Benny Blades lives in a condominium near his brother's. He was not present at the shooting, police have said. He might not be available till Detroit's final exhibitionist game, August 25th in New Orleans. And it just, and then, of course, we have this story about Drew Rosenhaus holds another press conference yesterday, and the Plantation police, they don't trust him. They're going to twist it all around. That's why we don't want our man going in there and being questioned. I don't get it. Do you have a choice? In other words, if the police come to your house and they say, okay, Mr. Schwartz, I want to take you downtown for, we want to do a little questioning, okay? We're not placing you under arrest. We don't have to read you your rights. We just, if you want to have your lawyer present, that's fine. But we would like to bring you down, especially somebody that was in the room alone and the shots went off and there's all these unanswered questions. And neighbors said that they heard yelling and carrying on and all kinds of goings on in there. And we just want to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, man.
Exactly. What?
Nah, I don't feel like it.
Don't be feeling like it? Don't ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies? I mean, what is that? So maybe somebody can explain it to me because I just don't get it. I think the guy who called yesterday had a good point, but I don't want to say which one. I think he had an excellent point. He said it's kind of I don't want to say it because then we'll get into all kind of problems.
I'm so mad at both of you guys.
I know, so why even start? All right, so we'll see where we go here today because they're in town, all the big hotshots, and we're under a lot of pressure. We really, because I know that when I sit down here at 10 o'clock every morning, I'm thinking, God, I sure hope I do a show that pleases Bob Neal, Bob Green, and Steve Dickel today because otherwise I'm just, somehow I'll feel guilty when I take that goddamn paycheck on Thursday. And by the way, where is it, George? 12 minutes past 10 at WIOD. We got food coming today from John's Smith Subs, right? Did I get it right? All right. And, a little meat, a little cheese, something like that. God, this thing is great. I don't want to get started on it again, but I will. This Atkins thing is great. And you feel great, and you get up and you prick your finger in the morning, and you look at that blood sugar, and it's 58, 60, nice and low down there. And you come in, you got all kinds of energy. You feel like you're full of vinegar and douche. This is the way to live, baby. Take those carbs and shove them. 1013 at WIOD.
610 WIOD. Like Johnny, Bobby, and OJ, we're pointing fingers and hoping for the best.
I killed Nicole.
This summer, Free Willy returns, and you can find him exclusively at McDougal's.
Hey, kid, do you want a Free Willy fun meal?
Sure. Do I get a toy?
Toy? Hell, you get Willy. Hey, Cookie, we need some more whale meat.
One McWilly coming right up.
Yes, it's a killer whale of a deal. Introducing the Free Willy Fun Meal, new from McDougal's.
Okay, so I got my check already, so I guess it's time to get the hell out of here. Thank you so much. Now we got the board ops giving us our paychecks. That's good. Is Wayne going downstairs writing a few checks? That should be good.
Leah dropped it off up here, and I didn't feel like schlepping.
Miami.
Hi, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
I had to call you. You got to hear this story. It is in the Herald in the regional section.
Yes.
On the front page of the regional section, there's a guy who is driving a food truck to Modelo Market on 8th Street, and he stopped, and somebody jumped in the truck and started stealing food. He went back and said, hey, what the hell are you doing? The guy clocks him on the head with a can of black beans, and then other people show up, and this guy refuses to leave after trying to rob this guy. The police come. Then he takes his clothes off, gets in the truck, and hides behind the cans of beans.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be removed by a SWAT team.
Yeah.
So, and, I had to call and tell you that.
Well, that's the kind of police work that we specialize in here, man.
Right, we had that
They're probably
woman
asking him, where have you been?
Well, that woman last year that got up on the sign naked and said, I'm not coming down till you give me crack.
Right.
You gotta love it down here.
She had a big crack problem like Oprah.
Right?
Exactly.
A big crack.
Okay, pal.
Well, have a good morning.
Thanks for the good news. Say hi to Brian Blades for me. Okay, yeah, I'm still waiting here. Now, we tried this yesterday for 4 hours. We got a lot of smart-ass people in here, but this is a very serious thing, man. This is like a major local story, and I guess we're just going to let it kind of slide by. Guy gets shot 2 bullets, not 1, 2 for the price of 1. Nobody can explain to us how it happened. Nobody's going to describe exactly what happened. And nobody's talking to the police. And Drew Rosenhaus, who was just absolutely reviled by everyone, even just hearing the name, even if they don't know him. And if they do know him, they really despise him like poison. And he's popping off a big mouth every 5 seconds. And, well, we don't trust the Plantation police. Well, listen, who the hell does? But what the hell has that got to do with it? We got a whole new deal in America now, man. Jocks go out, and especially football players. What about baseball players? They get nailed, okay? Drugs, anything, even minor stuff. Few coke deals, they get their ass nailed. But football players can't murder anybody. Is that the deal or what? Here's Broward.
Neil, I had not a car accident, but I had a misfortune of driving through Palm Beach County, and I saw a sign promoting a station I never heard of with Don Imus. And underneath it said Dick Farkle and Gary Daniels.
Yeah.
Boy!
I thought Dick Farkle was dead and buried.
Yeah. And what about Don Imus? He's also dead and buried.
I guess they're worse than the light bulb, recycling old, washed-up talent.
Well, that's Palm Beach for you. That's what Palm Beach County specializes in.
Before I go, you
just ask Lee Fowler.
You can't spell cum without UM.
I know, you're a day behind, man. You're real late. Man is real late. You know, we're not going to get started on that again, are we? We did like 2.5 hours of that yesterday, all these original people. Can't spell Marijuini without UM. Yeah. Okay, 751 WIOD. We're off to a real start this morning. Rick was full of crap when he gave me a song and a dance about that little spark. I saw a little spark on that phone bank when I walked in here about 9:15. Broward, 5249463. We want some answers here today, damn it. I want some answers now. Don't forget, by the way, Dr. Atkins and I will be at Books A Million 1 to 3 this Saturday in the Sawgrass. I have a feeling there's going to be some kind of heavy-duty, massive turnout there, don't you? They have 750 copies of the book that they're bringing in special. I think it is going to be vivid and massive, if you ask me. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil, we don't care about Brian Blades. They're killing putty tats in Miami Beach.
Exactly.
That's what we care
about. That's the
about.
kind of thing our great crime reporter, Edna Buchanan from the Herald all those years, she's worried about they're killing putty cats over on the beach, but we got a guy who's just been murdered in cold blood, who's deader than a goddamn doornail, deader than a dead cat, and she ain't writing about that.
No, we can butcher people, but leave the cats alone.
Good point.
See ya.
Thanks. Yeah. Pussycats, they're killing on Miami Beach. Well, Edna's she's big into that pussycat. She's into that. But when it comes to people, here's one of the major bizarre unfolding right in front of your puss. And nobody wants to come to grips with this because it's a goddamn, not only a football player, but a guy that played for UM. I guess if you go to UM, you know, no crime is too big for anybody who goes to UM. And I'm not suggesting, of course, that he did it, am I? Am I suggesting that? I'm implying it. I'm suggesting that there's lots and lots of questions, that the longer it goes on before this man is called in, I have many, many questions that I would like to ask, including what the hell is wrong with the Plantation police. I guess so if you're going to kill somebody, Plantation would be a good place to do it. Not the Acres, though. Stay the hell out of my neighborhood. But Plantation be a hell of a good place because they're too busy down there at that goddamn U-Floatum changing the filters in the coffee machine. That's all they do in Plantation is write traffic tickets and work on the coffee machine at that, what is that? It's not a U-Totem. It's a, what is it? It's on the corner of Broward and University, right across from Broward Mall. And
food spot, Circle K.
Circle what? Circle U Ranch. Now there's no Jews in there. Anyway, it's 10:21 at WIOD. At least 5 Toyota dealers this weekend are going to tell you that they're going to beat the price on every deal in town, or they'll give you something. I'll tell you what they'll give you is a song and a dance and a headache. I mean, Kendall Toyota will beat all these other dealers every time on every price, or they'll give you nothing. Why the hell should they have to give you a premium? Because, you know, see, if the other dealers were giving you the straight talk and the MS, they wouldn't be promising you to give you some big deal like that. But at Kendall Toyota, all they do is give you the lowest prices in town, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, you know how it goes. For example, a brand new 95 Tercel from $89.95. Nobody's going to beat that. Pickups from $99.95. Corollas from $10,995. Camrys as little as $14,995. And only Kendall Toyota will pay everybody $2,500 more than your trade-in is listed for in this week's Black Book Used Car Guide. So you can, you know, get sucked in with those other slogans and all those stupid giveaways for a pop-up toaster or whatever you want. But if you want the best deal, get your ass down to Kendall Toyota on US 1 just south of Dateland.
Unbelievable.
610 WIOD. Like most muscles, the more you use us, the better we get. I killed Nicole.
Uncle Neil, who's
on the radio from 10 to 2. Loudmouth piece of atheistic Jew. Outside a White House almost every day. Blessed with the miracle of being gay. The world's greatest homo in South LA. Packing big pleasure in a big way. The world's greatest homo in South LA. Packing big pleasure in a big way. Uncle Neil.
Oh, and just in case they are really having a listening party today, here's a message for Bob Neal and Bob Green.
I'm so mad at both of you guys.
Okay, 1025 at WIOD. See, it said both, so I couldn't include the other one in there. Look at that phone, man. It's a little on the sparse side this morning. Is it going to be this way? We're going to have to go back to screenless like we did yesterday? George would be very pleased with that. We had a dynamite show yesterday. It really blew. Here's the mobile in Miami on a Broward line. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
Hey, man. About your Brian Blades question, I think that...
how come people aren't up... How come they're all watching this OJ crap and they're all bent out of shape because of that little contretemps between Johnny and his Cochran and Chris Darden yesterday, like that was some big deal? And here we got a local... We've got a local scandal. We got a possible murder on our hands here, and nobody's excited about it.
Hey, the only reason why Cochran jumped up and got in everybody's face is because he knew his witness was getting ready to slam dunk OJ.
Oh, man.
So he had to come up and make this big to-do about, it's a racial this, it's a racial that. Yeah, it's a bunch of bullcrap.
He better be happy that this witness has got about as much credibility as Marianne Gertjes and Rosa Lopez. This guy's a flake, an idiot.
He's got the Skid Row shakes, you see?
Yeah. And 1 minute, it's well lit at that intersection, and I could see it was a Jeep, a white Jeep. In fact, it may have even been a Bronco. No, it was too dark back there. I couldn't see a damn thing. Yeah, right.
Hey, anyway, about back to Plantation cops, I think what they're doing is they don't want it to end up being another circus like the OJ deal, so they're getting their ducks in a row, so when they do go talk to Mr.
What do you mean they're getting their ducks in a row? Today is the 13th.
They're doing the investigation, just like you saw yesterday. They come out with the neighbors saying, oh, yeah, we heard fighting and stuff like that.
Right.
They're just doing all the footwork, so when they pick up Mr. Blades, it's a slam dunk. Instead of, one of these, we have to talk to them, talk to that, and it ends up being a mess like the OJ trial. I think they want to make sure they got his ass cold when they go pick him up.
Yeah, sure.
Have a good day.
Okay. I don't buy that. When's the last time? This happened 8 days ago. It happened a week ago last night. Here it's the following Thursday, a week and a day later, and they still haven't brought the guy in for questioning, and it's not like he's in hiding somewhere. He's standing right out there holding press conferences with Daddy rubbing the back of his neck and everybody like Kim Bokamper coming on here saying, oh, well, we know it was an accident. How do you know? I don't know what it was, and neither do you unless you were there. We get some goddamn answers, and the only way you get an answer is if somebody comes along and asks a question. But all these jocks, all these sports types, man, that's what's wrong with America. I'll tell you that right now, is the jock mentality. Howard Cosell, rest in peace, and I hope his peace is in place, by the way. I hope they centered it before they buried his ass. But Howard Cosell was right on target, man. The jockocracy has destroyed this country, baby. They're killing us, literally and figuratively. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me.
Here's a mobile in Hope Sound. Hello.
The only accident about the shooting is that he missed the first shot.
Yeah.
That's what he's so upset about. I mean, if I had shot somebody in my room in the middle of the night and I was the only guy there, they would have hauled my ass off to jail first thing.
Your ass would be hot right now, baby. I'll tell you that right now. You'd be sizzling.
Unbelievable. I can't believe they haven't even brought him in for questioning.
I can't believe that the public in this town is sitting back. I mean, this is
nobody's saying anything.
And they don't give a crap. It's like a big joke because, well, it's, local guy went to Piper High and the family. This guy calls me yesterday and says, well, everybody knows this family was real close. They all loved each other like crazy. Like O.J. loved Nicole.
Yeah, right.
There you go. I rest my case.
Speaking of O.J.
Yeah.
The people that they're putting on the stand up there.
Oh, my God.
This guy yesterday, he was so, it looked like he was lying so much. He had his face behind his hands, He was scratching his mouth.
Chris Darden kept baiting him with this bit about you were disappointed because you weren't called as a prosecution witness.
Yeah.
And he says, don't you understand why you weren't called? You lying, devious piece of crap, you idiot, you joke.
Exactly.
Man, I'll tell you, if this is the best group of defense witnesses they got is O.J.'s old mother who can't turn up her miracle ear loud enough to hear the questions, and this guy, I'd say his ass is going to fry by the end of the week.
On another radio station, I heard somebody call in and say that his whole family was telling the truth about O.J., and everybody else was lying.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole world is out of step, but their son is in line. Okay, Pally. Have a great day, and enjoy that hot seat. Open line in Dade, 751. 2 in Broward, 524-9463. 2 on the green lines, 1-800-944. See, this is the best the South Florida people can do, okay? You can't spell murder without UM. You can't. That one guy started it with that scum, which was great. You can't spell scum without UM. That's all we needed. The other ones were good, though. But, no, seriously, that's the best response they can give because the American public has been... And it's like I heard Rick talking this morning about that chip that they want to put in the TVs now, the V chip, so that you can block out the violent programs. Well, guess what? When you go to Europe, they love American TV because they don't have very much of their own. And then even what they do create their own is just copies of the American quiz shows like Price is Right and all that stuff, which they do very poorly, by the way. But basically what they have is dubbed in foreign language all the American TV shows. The more violent you want, they got it. And guess what? They're not running around with guns. They're not running around killing each other. There's no drive-by shootings like we have in this town, another one yesterday. And the public here has been so desensitized, they don't know the difference between... That's the problem. Television has done it. They don't know the difference. Kids watch that crap and they don't know the difference between fantasy and reality. And what our great leaders in Washington want to do is they want to be the babysitters. Okay, let's just keep banning stuff. Like that's going to change the mentality of the stupid people out there who can't tell the difference between... And the problem is that we have really ignorant trash people out there multiplying. I say forced sterilization immediately.
Oh!
Right? That's the answer to it. Let's have some people with a little bit of a brain and a little bit of class and stop glorifying all these goddamn jocks. How about somebody that's got a brain? How about somebody like that? Do you have any respect for that anymore? Not in America. Who do we respect? Sly Stallone. The more illiterate you are, the more we love you, baby. By the way, Michael's album, the sales dropped off like a rock. You think that's because they're taking out that Jumi Kike Me stuff? Probably. Here's a mobile in Lauderhill. Hello. Okay, that was short and sweet, right to the point. I think you're absolutely correct. West Palm Beach.
Yeah, you can't spell immunity without UM.
Yeah. Had it.
Oh, you already did?
We had it, yeah. Should we start? Are we going to start the list again?
Yeah, let's start it again.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Okay, and look at that. We got 2 calls left on the board here, okay? This is the listening party day. I hope you're listening real close to the kind of goddamn town we're in, all right? We get a guy murdered in cold blood. Big sensational story. These people don't give a flying crap about anything in this town. As Hank would say, the surest way to kill a show is a hockey call. Isn't that what he would say? Lazy slob. Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
A couple things. Thanks for turning me on to Dr. Atkins. I was counting calories, counting fat grams, and going to the gym, and these muscleheads are telling me to load up on carbohydrates, and I saw no results
They're
at all.
killing you, man. The peddlers of carbohydrate are the peddlers of poison.
4 weeks on Dr. Atkins, I'm down from 225 to 198.
Oh! 27 pounds in 4 weeks.
I feel better than I've ever felt in my life.
Exactly.
Thanks to you. And with regard to Brian, I got a message for Brian Blades. Hey, Brian, 2 guys go into a room live. One comes out dead, and it's not you. Your gun, 2 bullets, 1 in the dead guy.
Neighbors here screaming and yelling.
Hey, Brian, if there's a word, murder, look it up.
Oh, man.
You know, I'm just so sick and tired of these jocks thinking that just because they can hide behind their celebrity status.
Exactly, behind a goddamn uniform and a jockstrap.
Yeah, he's going to devote the rest of his career and his life in football to his dead uncle or cousin or whatever he is, because he's a ball player. You know, and I'm sick of it. I played professional ball, and I was also in broadcasting, and I love sports so much. But the past 10 years, Neil, I don't pay attention to it hardly at all.
You're dealing with a bunch of degenerate deadbeats with a bunch of slime balls. You know, Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford, Billy Martin, those guys used to go out and have a few pops and womanize, you know, like everybody else in those days. But those guys were class. They were a grade A class act compared to these slime balls we got today. And those guys 30, 40 years ago, they were making a tiny fraction, a minute fraction of what these jerks are making today.
They played because they loved it, number one.
Right.
Number two, they didn't have these slime ball attorneys standing behind them or in front of them or aside of them rubbing their necks. And number three, they just they had a real feel for what it was like, because they knew that.
And they would stop and they would give a kid an autograph and would never even dream about charging somebody for an autograph. Any athlete that wants to charge a kid for an autograph should be shot right on the spot, no questions asked.
It makes me sick. That's why when you've got a few people like maybe a Jeff Conine, who I really respect.
Yeah, he's a classy guy.
I think he's a throwback to the Mantles.
See, the problem is, though, with Conine is that he's very low-key, don't have much of a personality, so he does, he's very underrated because he just has no flash, no flair. But these other guys, Mr. Hotshot, this Hotshot and that one, they're the guys that get all the attention.
Yeah, and one last word for Brian. Brian, even the Plantation police are going to figure this out eventually.
Don't hold your breath, pal. Don't be too sure.
You're going to have to answer some questions, Brian, so forget training camp.
Okay.
Thanks, Neil.
See ya. What do you mean forget training camp? Drew Rosenhaus says it's therapeutic. He got to be playing football, man. He got to get that pigskin in his hand. I mean, there's a guy dead. How did it happen? We don't know. I mean, somebody must know. There's two guys in the room, and one of them is still alive. Even a goddamn editorial in the Sun-Sentinel today. Blade silence breeds suspicions, it says.
Oi!
An open letter to Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Brian Blades. How dare you refuse to talk to police and prosecutors about the July 5th shooting death of your cousin Charles Blades at Axe? Your right to remain silent may be technically legal, but your decision to exercise that right is irresponsible, unethical, and inexcusable.
Oh!
How do you like that? Says the prestigious Sun-Sentinel, the holier-than-thou with all those ads for those body massage things on a sports page. That's right. Says you were alone with him in the room of your plantation home when the gun went off. You're the only witness. What happened? Que pasa, man? Anybody, football hero or ordinary human being who is present... Football hero or ordinary human being?
I give up.
Oh, just stop and let that soak in for just a second, okay? Football hero or ordinary human being, like Albert Einstein, for example, who was present at the scene of a violent death should come forward voluntarily to tell police what he knows and not behind legal rights to remain silent. That's called being a good citizen. No one's accusing you of wrongdoing. Oh? They just want to know your version of what happened. If it was an accident, as you maintain, then you got nothing to fear but fear itself, and that's what FDR said, and look at him now. And everything to gain by speaking out. Your silence inevitably raises suspicions by police, prosecutors, family, Neil Rogers, friends, and the public that you have something to hide. Can you live with those suspicions? And he says,
yes.
Don't force prosecutors to subpoena you and offer you immunity for testifying. Your silence fuels the ugly notion that there's a different standard of justice for rich and poor, celebrity and commoner. What an ugly notion that is. Where the hell did they come up with an idea like there's a different set of justice for celebrities and like the common ordinary man?
Oh, man.
I don't buy that. Maybe we can get the dream. That's what we got to do. They're stalling. How stupid you are, you stupid old fag Jew, you. They got to stall till we get the OJ trial over so we can get the dream team down here. That'll be great. Maybe we can even get Roy Black on that team, too, okay? If we can't get another black attorney, at least we get a guy with a name that's 1037 at WIOD. Let me tell you about Fast Auto Loans and the great service they got waiting for you. They got cash in their hand. They like to put it in your hand and the money, too. If you need $2,500 cash today, you need to call them at this number, toll-free right now, 1-800-910-FAST, as in fast. If you have a free and clear title on your car, you can borrow up to $2,500 cash immediately. There's small, easy payments while, of course, you still drive that car or that Bronco, whatever it might be. If you have no credit, even bad credit, you'll still have no problems at Fast Auto Loans. Maybe you want to hit them up for $10,000. That's what OJ had in the Bronco. Anyway, what you do is turn the equity in your car into $2,500 cash. Call today for instant phone approval, and the cash will be in your hands within 24 hours. No lengthy approval process or embarrassing credit checks, whether it's for an emergency, for a vacation, you want to go to the track and lose your ass, or your bills are past due, whatever it's for, they don't care. Just go to Fast Auto Loans today with your car title and drive away with some serious cash in your hand today. Fast Auto Loans is fully licensed by the state of Florida. They're a member of the Better Business Bureau with convenient locations both in Dade and Broward. Call them right now. Instant approval, fast cash in your hand from Fast Auto Loans. 1-800-910-FAST. 1-800-910-FAST.
The opinions expressed by the host, guests, or callers on WIOD are not necessarily those of the station or its sponsors. All WIOD programs are copyright 1995 by WIOD Incorporated. No tape recordings or transcripts may be created or distributed without prior written consent of WIOD Incorporated.
So what do you say, George? Our what stings? George says because we're not big super jocks, our shot stings. Okay, 1041 at WIOD. Dead is dead, baby. Dead be dead. Maybe they were at Bernie's house or Brian or Benny, whatever the hell their name is. I wish these families that name everybody with the same first letter like that, it makes it very confusing for all of us. And now which one's got the busted hand? Is that Jackie? 751-9463, 751-WIOD. Everybody in debt is geschluffen, baby. Let's do a mobile in Pompano. Hello.
Morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great.
Listen, I got a steak sauce for you. Dale's Steak Seasoning Sauce. I think it has less than 1% carbohydrates in it.
Yeah.
It is excellent. Get yourself a nice thick London broil. Do it about a half an hour before you throw it on the grill.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Is this like a marinade or is it a steak sauce?
Well, it's a steak sauce, but it acts as a marinade as well. It's excellent, though. It's only been in the market here a couple of weeks at Publix.
Okay, what's it called?
Dale's Steak Seasoning Sauce. It's a liquid-type thing. It's in about a 10-ounce bottle. It's like $2.99. It's excellent.
Great.
It's absolutely. You soak your meat in it and the steak, too.
Okay, great. I'll start soaking it this afternoon.
Listen, one other thing. Eartha Kitt.
Yeah.
Spike Jones and Drag. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, but I bet Spike Jones never bit anybody on the lip. Open line at Dade, 751. There's one on the green line, one on the mahogany line now. If you move real quickly, if you get right in there. Here's Miami Lakes on the purple line. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Howdy. Let me pick up real quick. Neil, listen, I just wanted to give you a great thanks. I started that diet last Wednesday.
There ought to be about 4,000 people calling me with reports on how they're doing on this goddamn diet, but of course, they just sit back and take as usual. They don't want to tell me how great they're doing. Because if it weren't for me, most of them probably be dead.
Well, I want to give you a great pat on the back, and if I could, a big fat kiss for letting me lose 16 pounds in about 1 week. Exactly.
Oh! Boy.
Yep. And
that is incredible.
I got my fiance on it.
Yeah.
She's lost.
And the
7.
diet too.
Oh, well, she's been on that for a while. And I got my mom. Bought her the book yesterday.
Yeah.
And actually, we're just having a great time doing it. And we're just killing plenty of time and enjoying the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I just thought I'd give you a great thanks.
Yesterday to me was the real proof of the pudding. Not that there's been any doubt, because I've seen the magic that this does with my blood sugar and the way I feel. But yesterday, I mean, I really packed away the food. You know, the better part of 2 steaks and those big jumbo shrimp wrapped in bacon, delicious, and then 2 big juicy sirloin burgers on the grill with cheese, that Old English Velveeta cheese or whatever the hell it is. And plenty of Jarlsberg cheese with 0 carbs. And I get on the scale this morning, and hallelujah, I was jumping for joy.
Well,
I was jumping higher than Brian Blades.
Yeah, we've been hitting the old Costco cheese section and just buying it by the pound.
Yeah.
And,
well, that's the way to do it. Don't anybody out there who's on this thing, don't waste your time buying that packaged cheese and those little, the usual, go out there and get the big bricks of cheese. That's the way to do it.
Oh, absolutely. You can make it
because that stuff doesn't have all that crap in it.
I'll tell you what's great is a fondue with about 12 different cheeses in it.
Okay.
I get it with a spoon.
And you're probably dipping your meat in that, too.
Every morning.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Keep it up, Pally.
Thanks again.
Okay, another great success story right there from one of the most incredible events in the history of broadcasting anywhere in the human race. Neil Rogers teams up with aging Dr. Robert Atkins, and the two of them together are creating another goddamn revolution here. And we got our lunch coming. What time is that coming, by the way? And it better get here early because Fat Boy is the one who's involved in that, and he'll probably eat most of it on the way in here. How is it possible? Seriously, I know that this is a little sensitive, but I don't care. You know me, Mr. Sensitivity. How can people walk around looking like that? Now, I know I once weighed at my peak, at my height, at my fattest, 266. That's 22 years ago in Sarasota, WSPB, 266 pounds. I would go to the supermarket. I would buy a box of Hamburger Helper and about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Wait a minute, I just started. I would cook it up and eat the entire, however much that makes. What does that serve? 8? Whatever it's supposed to serve. I would eat the entire amount, all of it. All of it. It was good, too, by the way. Cheeseburger macaroni or whatever that was, and the lasagna ain't too bad. A little mushy. And then I would also buy in the cans, like that real sweet juice, you know, the different kinds of, like, Hawaiian Punch, that kind of stuff. And I would have 2, like, big cans of that. And during the course, like on a weekend, you know, you're sitting around watching a ball game on TV or something. Sarasota, what are you going to do? You know, you go outside, everybody's dead. Run right back inside and pop that thing on the oven and get started with a Hamburger Helper again. And about 2 big cans of Hawaiian Punch. 266. I'm telling you, man, I'm a slob now, but back then I was such a slob, it was a miracle I would ever leave the house. And how do some of these other people, like when we went on that Vegas trip, I don't want to pick on anybody in particular, but there were some candidates for Atkins. There were some candidates for a piano box. on that plane. I mean, it's a miracle we ever got off the ground. How is that possible? I mean, I realize it's an illness and it's a problem and it's difficult and I've been through it myself. But how can you just keep walking around like that and just people look at you and you know they're just falling down, laughing and puking their brains out? Fat boy? Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a mobile in Aventura. Hello?
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Atkins, huh?
Boy, oh, I'm sorry. Now, that was good, wasn't it? What was that? A feeble attempt at something, and he just didn't have all the pieces together. We have an open line in Dade, 751. It's 1047 at WIOD.
It's 10 WIOD. It's my team. Build it, or I'll take my puck and go home.
I'm so mad at both of you guys.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just so there is no misunderstanding. Have everybody be seated, please. Oy vey. We're wasting time. If you're going to keep doing that, I'm going to stop you right here. You're not making this easy, are you, Mr. Goldberg? Counsel, this whole line needs to be done in a different way. And now here it is again.
Because, Your Honor...
In the same day. I'm going to stop you right here. Have everybody be seated. Oy vey.
Your Honor, I think that
Mr. Scheck, I'm going to tell you for the fourth time, no. Sit down.
This is much ado about nothing.
Sit down.
No, I'm serious. You know something, Your Honor? This is very unfair.
Sit down.
That's very unfair.
Sit down.
Are you afraid of Miss Clark?
Sit down. We're in recess.
Hey, stupid! There's that Hank Goldberg again mouthing off. 1051 at WIOD. So anyway, the last paragraph, or second to last in the editorial in the Sun-Sentinel on the Brian Blades thing. Be a man, be a pro, be a stand-up guy. Live up to your promise to play a little bit harder, jump a little bit higher, and run a little bit faster. That was the best part of that bogus press conference he held the other day. Yeah, because he's going to be thinking about his dead cousin. He'll be really putting out a lot more effort. He'll be running a little faster. I guarantee you, when they come knocking at the door, he'll be running a lot faster. Just like O.J. You notice how he took off like a bat out of hell? Of course, the Bronco was moving his body a little bit faster. And how come the jury never got to hear about the goddamn passport and the $10,000? Wouldn't that raise a little bit of suspicion in your mind about the grieving ex-husband who's on his way to join his wife in the cemetery? He's going to go there and blow his brains out. He's got a gun, but he's also got 10 grand in cash and a passport. I know that if I'm going to commit suicide, I certainly want to have 10 grand in cash in my hand and my passport, just in case I change my mind on the way over there.
They don't take American Express in heaven, you know.
Oh, is that it? But do they fart in heaven? That's the question. Here's Dania. Hello.
Neil?
But they do take Vastercard and Misa, yes?
Good morning.
Buenos dias.
I had some real important information here that I wanted to relay to you.
About?
AIDS research. I just got some information from the Human Rights Campaign Fund Committee. It says a House subcommittee late last night voted to eliminate the federal government's budget for AIDS research.
Yeah.
The appropriation...
Liberty, Paris, Cuba. Liberty, Paris, Cuba.
Yeah.
The Appropriations Subcommittee on Labor, Health, and Human Services and Education voted along party lines to gut the Office of AIDS Research at the National Institute of Health.
Liberty, Paris,
and
Cuba.
Eliminate $1.4 billion
yeah, well, and what about it?
For AIDS research.
What about it?
For fiscal 1996.
What about it? What about it?
Well, the Clinton administration had requested 1.4.
And what about it?
Well, now we have no
Get
funding
your passport,
for
man. Get your passport. Move to a real country, okay, and stop belly aching, all right? Jesse Helms is running the show now, baby. He's the one calling all the shots.
Liberty, Paris, Cuba.
Attaboy, Jesse. You tell him. We have an open line in Broward, 5249. I mean, when are you people going to wake up and sniff it, okay? The fanatical right-wing lunatic nuts, they taking a whole goddamn country over, and this guy's on there limp-wristing me on the phone, a song and a dance about the cutting money for AIDS research. What the hell do you expect, okay? Can't we all just be normal people like Jesse?
Liberty, Paris, Cuba.
Anyway, speaking of that, on Sunday, July 16th, that's this Sunday, Center One, Broward County's oldest and largest nonprofit AIDS service organization, will be the recipient of proceeds raised from a Supercuts Cut-a-thon. The cut-a-thon will be held at participating Supercuts in Broward County from 5 to 9 p.m. this Sunday. Supercuts is requesting a $5 donation for a haircut, of which 100%, all of it, will be given to Center One. This Sunday, 5 to 9 at Supercuts all over Broward, okay? Okay, just toss that in passing, which, here's wait a minute. Like I said, here's Pompano. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Call me with my mouth full.
Really?
Hey, I'm glad you got on this Brian Blades thing.
Yeah.
The story broke on Wednesday, and they said, well, he's too upset to talk to cops. Okay, but by Thursday, Friday, you're going, what's going on? Too upset? If I whacked my cousin in my house and I'm too upset to talk to the police, do you think they'd take that?
Sure. What number is your uniform?
I guess you're right.
Yeah, if it's 32 or higher, you're in good shape.
The thing is, what incenses the regular guy is if you've been pushed around by a cop before, which who hasn't by now, it just, your head starts spinning when you see them just handing somebody like Brian Blaze with the leather glove, the kid gloves or whatever.
Yeah, what kind of crap is this? I mean, like the guy said before, a guy is hiding behind a can of baked beans or something, and right away we get the SWAT team in there and make a big song and a dance about it. We got the North Bay Village standing behind the bushes up the street pointing their radar gun, hassling the hell out of ordinary goddamn people just trying to live their lives and not bother anybody. But if somebody goes and is involved in some...
shoot somebody twice.
Well, we don't know he shot him, but if somebody is there when some grotesque episode like this happens and is the only witness and the neighbors are saying there was a lot of commotion and racket and screaming, then I think at the very least they got a right to say, okay, we want some information.
And they ask you the question. I mean, even O.J. got cuffed and went downtown. I mean, they had to chase him down to Chicago, but he went in.
And let's face it, I mean, if we're going to be impressed based on jockocracy, I mean, Brian Blades couldn't lick O.J.'s ass.
Exactly.
Or Jim Morrison.
You're the greatest, Neil.
Okay, pal. We have an open line in Broward, 524. Do you think he could lick O.J.'s ass? 524-9463 in Broward as we try to find a little bit of justice in America. For justice, we must go to Don Corleone. That's who we got to go to for justice. That's what I say. Let's call up the boys and let them straighten all this crap out. They wouldn't put up with this garbage. Our police can't get the job done. Call up Don Corleone. And let's let the family get involved in this. Where are we going? We're going to Davie. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir?
Hey, good to talk to you. I haven't called you in a couple of years. Listen, a couple things I want to talk to you about. First of all, the Atkins diet. I'm not on it. I'm getting ready to do it just because I'm about 20 pounds overweight.
You'll love it, man.
Okay. My buddy Frankie, I think you know him. He's lost like 25.
Frankie Pentangeli?
No, Frankie, who's Dennis's friend.
Oh, that fat guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's already dropped 27 pounds. His father's dropped about 25. So
incredible. Yeah, Frankie could lose some weight, I'll tell you that. He could afford to lose a bundle.
Yeah, he's loving it. And you can't spell mung without UM.
Exactly.
That's your word there, so...
Well, do it, pal, and give Dennis a big kiss for me, okay?
Okay, we'll see you Saturday.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Bye. We have an open line in Broward, 524-9463. The two, what is that? What's the problem now? Well, you just gave me an exasperated...
We got mung like 5 times.
All right, well, leave the guy alone. It was a good call, so the guy, they can't listen 4 hours every day. I'm not sure why. When you're in this godforsaken place, especially in the dog days of summer, where you have a goddamn thing to do except sit around some fancy hotel room listening to the radio, being impressed with all the titles you got and what a powerful little dictator you are.
Little what?
Dictator. As in Napoleon complex. How's Andy Calb doing, by the way? Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
What's the matter with you? You gotta make a good name.
Yeah. We have two open lines in Broward. 524. All the amateur comedians out there, okay? Call up Steve Dickel. He'll put you on in a week.
Floridians, dumb as dirt.
Shoot them in the leg.
News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk with Neil, call 751-WIOD in Dade, 524-WIOD in Broward.
Boy!
Outside the 305 area code, it's toll-free, 1-800-944-WIOD. And Cellular One customers can call pound IOD at no charge. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
I have just tasted your snapper.
What's the matter with lesbian golfers? Can't you tell we really love hitting balls? The only thing that separates us from the men is the country club's bathroom stalls.
Squirt, squirt.
I love my girlfriend who's also my caddy. She's the femme, I'm the butch, she calls me daddy. Muff dive at 5, tuna taco, alright, it's still ladies golf to me. My favorite hole that doesn't have any number, a green or a fairway. Don't sweat me 'cause I'm a snapper, lapper. I play golf and I'm gay. I missed my tee time, got caught in the clubhouse. Lesbian golf is the only kind with dugouts. I'm gay, let's play LBGA. It's still ladies golf to me. Riders disgrace, chicks sit on my face. It's still ladies golf to me.
takes forever to get that taste and smell out of your system.
11:07 at WIOD. Happy Thursday to you. We're just rolling along, singing a song. Got my check in my puppet in my pocket. And we got John Smith Subs bringing us a little bit of lunch. If Fat Boy doesn't eat it all the way over here, we got 2 open lines in Dade, 1 in Broward, 1 in the Green Line. All these people are calling. You got so many fans out there, Neil. There's going to be 50 million people at the mall here on Saturday. But, boy, they sure won't make the effort, man. They don't care enough to send their very best, or even in a sausage shop, their very worst. Did we ever find out about the weenies, by the way? Man, I'm just dying for that. A place where they have we got a couple of old ladies call yesterday. What do they know? Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
You were speaking about Europe and violence and one thing or another earlier on.
Yes.
If this American football player had been in England, he would have been arrested under the race relations law for conduct likely to cause a breach of the peace.
The race relations law?
Yep, that's the offense. Conduct likely to cause a breach of the peace.
Well, what is that, a racial thing? In other words, if a black guy does it, it's bad?
No, anybody.
Because I know that British tend to be extremely racist.
No, anybody, black, white, green, yellow, pink.
Yeah.
If you are likely to cause a breach of the peace, you will be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a jailable offense.
Right. Well, first of all, if he would have been in England, he wouldn't have had a gun in the first place.
Probably not. No,
right.
No need for them.
Exactly.
Anyway.
If he would have been in France or Italy or Switzerland or Germany or Denmark or Norway or any of those civilized places. Right.
If you want a gun, join the army.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
Okay, Pally.
Anytime.
Tally-ho. We have a lot of British listeners on this program, and, of course, sometimes I'm right on the verge of feeling bad because I say all those terrible things about the Brits. Then I stop and reflect on it and realize that they're all true. We have an open line in Broward. What? There's something on there that I should be watching? On what, 41? 41? Yes. What kind of a channel is that? What kind of a number is that?
I think it might be American Movie Classics or something like that.
Oh, this is Olivia Hussey and what's his name? This is Romeo and Juliet again for the 400th time. Leonard Whiting and Olivia Hussey. One of the all-time great movies in the history of mankind. Wait till they get naked on that bed, baby. Then you'll really start...
I won't miss her boobs this time like I did last time. Blinked.
Here's a lady in Kendall. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing? Neil, I wanted to know, I know that you're not a very spiritual person.
What the hell does that mean?
You're not very
what does that mean? I happen to be a very spiritual person, but not by your definition.
Well,
not by hocus pocus.
Tell me, what do you believe in?
What do you mean, what do I believe in?
Well, if you don't believe in God, what do you believe in?
I don't believe in fairy tales. How do you like that? I believe like in life, in reality. And,
what is reality to you?
You got your senses, like your eyes and ears and tongue and stuff like that?
From?
What?
I wanted to know what you think.
I don't have any idea. I don't waste all of my life asking a lot of questions that I can't answer. I don't know. All I know is I'm here and I'm doing the best I can. Rather than buying into some bullcrap that's some ancient Chinese secret made up 5,000 years ago. There's one of those good spiritual people, and she yells out "shot" on the air. She comes up with that. Have to dump her. Honey, you are so full. See, you're weak. That's the problem. You're weak. You have to have some kind of a crutch, some kind of bull crap. Oh, what if it is true? Well, just in case, I better pretend that I believe in it, even though I do know it's bull crap, because then I can go to the pearly gates and say, give me my pass and my Visa and MasterCard. That's for children. It's for people with infantile minds. When are you going to grow up, okay, lady? When are you going to get with it? That's our first lady of the day, I think. And what does that tell you right there? Didn't I tell you 70% of the people, the women in America, are dumber than dirt? They're the ones that are sitting out there watching all these goddamn stupid talking head shows and that OJ business 24 hours a day. Watching that goddamn Ricky Lake holding up those flashcards with all those contrived arguments there on a goddamn stage, all that phony baloney crap, all that staged garbage, and buying it. And then, of course, they're raising the children. And you wonder why the children of America can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. Why all this television crap, they're talking about banning everything, which ain't going to solve nothing. Family values my ass. This is a country that don't have any values. Somebody gets murdered, and it's a big joke right off the bat. We have drive-by shootings. 17-year-old kid is brain dead. Oh, well, gee, that's too bad. What's happening with OJ today? We're talking about stupid, idiotic jerks.
Idiotic jerk.
Exactly, bitch. Did I call her a bitch? Good. Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, you can't spell cum without you.
Yeah, we already know, okay? A good phony voice, too, by the way. And in your case, I don't think it'll be happening anytime soon. We
We have an open line in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. Boy, you could tell how far that finger was up there, couldn't you? In the nose, I meant. Hey, Pizza Loft, speaking of putting your finger on, well, he gets those fingernails in every spot, that Jeff Cohen. Go over to the Pizza Loft, say, hey, can I take a look at them? And your fingernails, too. And let Jeff and his staff treat you to an enjoyable dining experience, because I think basically that's what the spot is for, to promote the great Italian-American food at the Pizza Loft, not to go on about his ponytail and about his finger lakes and fingernails and ego. Call in your dining room order. It'll be piping hot on the table when you get there if you're like in a big hurry, or they'll deliver right to your door in Dade County. Just call 266-5111. They can even accept your American Express, other major credit cards on delivery, which is almost unheard of. Try their Fugaza pizza, that real spicy pizza with the spicy sauce and onions. Try their thick Sicilian pizza, or the real Emmis, the real New York-style thin pizza. They make it like nobody else. So don't forget, try the Pizza Loft one time. You'll go back again and again. Everything is made fresh by hand. Gigantic, overflowing portions at prices so modest, even you schleppers can go there all the time. Pizza Loft, doing it right for over 20 years in town now. Open 7 days a week, holidays every day, morning, noon, night. Montauk and Dunnerstick and everything in between. Pizza Loft upstairs at 69th and Flagler, just east of the Palmetto. Here's that number one more time, 266-5111.
610 WIOD. On a mission to win friends and get away with all we can.
Don't they understand that I would jump in front of a bullet for Nicole?
Thank you for calling the Gambling Anonymous hotline. We know how difficult it is to break a habit. That's why we're here to help. If you'd like to contact a local gambling support group, press 1 now. If you'd like the name of a gambling therapist, press 2 now. If Michael Jordan owes you money, press 3 now. Thank you for calling the Gambling Anonymous hotline.
Hey, stupid! Okay, 11:16 at WIOD. That woman had called before. She was the best. You talk about a real little nose-picking twit. I guarantee you she was calling from a trailer park. She'll probably be on Ricky Lake by the end of the week, talking about how she found Jesus. Oh, and by the way, guess what day it is, George? You slipped up again. July 13. Huh?
I remembered.
Rosa Lopez today for lunch. Let's forget about John Smith for just a second or two. Let's take our meat and go over to Rosa's house and meet the old virgin. Know any old virgins? Here's Davey on the purple line. Hello.
How you doing?
They're all playing golf. Yes.
I got a couple things to talk about if you'll let me go on a little semi-intellectual soliloquy.
Semi-intellectual soliloquy. I think the semi part underlined, yes?
Absolutely, absolutely. First of all, great song about the LPGA. That was fantastic. Second of all, I've been on the Atkins diet for about 3 weeks now.
Yes, sir?
I'm eating 9,000 calories of meat and fat a day. Nothing else. I'm not kidding, man.
Okay, so anyway, what line is he on? See, I almost never do this, but I know that it just kind of slipped out, and I'm going to have to wait for a delay to build back up and then put it back on. Don't say crap load of steak, okay? You can eat a crap load, just don't say it. What line was he on?
Pound.
He's on a pound line? And, of course, we're paying for it. See, that's bad. I put the guy on hold, and we're paying for it till the delay builds back up again because he said crap on the air, and he's got a story, and he wants to do a semi-intellectual thing for us here today, just like that bitch that called trying to save me and find me salvation. What if that bullshot ain't a bunch of crap? Or what if it ain't? If that bunch of crap ain't a bunch of bullshot? Okay, you collected yourself now?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Shot load, you said.
Shot load, exactly.
Right.
All right. Well, I rollerblade every day.
That's what Charles Blade's got. A shot load.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I rollerblade every day, and I do like a couple of push-ups. I've lost 25 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life. I got veins in my arms. I don't know where they came from. Oh! It's fantastic.
Yeah?
I got girls and everything. Oh, but listen, the other thing I wanted to talk about is that girl that called you. Let me give you my cellular phone number. You can do it off the air, on the air. I don't care. And I want her to call me. I love girls like that. They're fantastic.
What, are you talking about the one with the religion crap?
Yeah, I'll set her straight. I'll give her a little talking to.
Yeah, she'll find religion. She'll be saying, "Oh God, that's good," right? Holy Jesus!
Can I give you the number?
Get out of here! I wouldn't wish that on Hitler. We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD. He wants to talk to that simple bitch. Okay, we'll just give you the trailer park location and just go in there and you'll be able to sniff it. Here's Del Rey. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah. Okay. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Had Brian Blade's agent used his big head...
Drew Rosenhaus. He's got a name.
Right.
Just keep mentioning. He's also, by the way, is Warren Sapp's agent. I just thought I would mention that.
Okay.
He's no sap.
He would have used the second gunman theory in the grassy knoll behind Blade's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't believe it.
And nobody seems to give a crap. This goes to show you how much the public has been desensitized. They just accept one incident like this after another, after another, after another. And it's like, oh, okay, well, what time does the O.J. trial start today? They're morons, man. They have no kind of value at all.
Maybe we should boycott.
We got assholes running around shooting doctors at abortion clinics, and then we got people in the media bringing guests on to try to somehow legitimize it. Like, okay, well, this is acceptable because we decided abortion is murder, so therefore, our twisted logic says this is okay.
Do you remember the Mary Tyler Moore show?
What kind of crap is that? Yes?
Do you remember the Mary Tyler Moore show?
Hated that show.
Ted Baxter?
Yeah.
Well, when he died, he was reincarnated as Rick Sanchez.
There you go. Okay, pal.
Thank you.
See ya. He'll be right over in the limo. We have an open line in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. Yeah, Rick Snatch has and all these assholes next door on Channel 7 with their hysterical, sensational, you people and lots of other people before you, and now even the network news, everybody. CBS this morning with 2 analysts to tell us about Hugh Grant and his, his big tour now, the apology tour. We had the primetime tour, we had the Michael try to cover up his ass tour, and now we got the apology tour by Hugh Grant. And they have to have 2 analysts on there explaining to America whether he did a good job of explaining it all away and did Jay Leno's hair look worse than usual or what. I mean, it is frightening. It is downright goddamn frightening. And in the meantime, they're going to solve the problem by putting a V thing in your, they're going to plant it in your thing. A V blocker. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, first-time caller.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening to your news before, and how the news gets run through, and they was talking about that kid who ran his daddy's Bronco into the lake, whatever that is, the canal.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, how can something be sucked down into a discharge tube, as the news was saying? Oh, man.
Okay, we'll work on it. We'll get Marconi in here to figure it out. We have an open line in Brown. Oh, I also heard Mandich say that last night on the sports. He said finger it out, and he was also talking about the purple line. You know, you're great, Mad Dog. We love you.
You jackass.
But you're starting to rip off every line that I've ever invented. Another Lee Fowler wannabe. That damn Jim Mandich. It's 11:21 at WIOD.
610 WIOD. If you've just started listening, be advised that FM rules do not apply.
I killed Nicole. Trust me.
Do you have a problem with someone and you're sick of raising your voice, tired of spending endless hours screaming at your boyfriend, hollering at your boss, or just wailing at someone who can't cut meat? You need the Yeller.
Hey! You the butcher in this store?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. You cut up a pork roast for the Smiths Friday night. They said there was too much fat. You trying to make them gain weight?
No.
You don't like how they look? Quarter-inch trim means a quarter-inch, not a half-inch. The Smiths got too much blubber on their pork roast.
The Yeller comes in all dialects, travels well, and has easy storage. The Yeller, now in designer colors, too.
Oi! Okay, 11:25 at WID on a really swell day, and we have an open line in Broward. If you hop on it real fast, 524. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, hi, hey.
What's all the wiggling
Neil?
and shaking going on over there, sir?
Neil?
What are you shaking?
Oh, no, I'm not shaking anything. Listen, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, okay? But let's be honest.
With what I'm doing about what?
Wait, let's be honest about it, okay? No, and it's controversial.
There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing about what?
It's controversial.
Are you going to have a conversation or not?
Yes, sir. Okay.
What are you talking
Nobody
about?
takes that much time and effort to do anything, I mean, of that, all that time-consuming effort to do things for free. Now, let's put it on the line. I know maybe you're getting a little cutback or something from
Oh, you're
this
talking
diet.
about the diet? I'm not getting squat, pal, okay? So just cut the crap. Nobody does anything for the public, okay? Blow it out your ass, you idiot. Let me say it again. I only wish, and if I were getting something, what would be wrong with that when you're doing good by somebody else? But guess what? I'm not, because I'm a schmuck, okay? Nobody does anything. See, there's another. That's part of American family values one more time. Nobody does anything, expends all this much energy unless there's some sinister thing there. They're getting a cut behind the scene. Like I said, I only pray and wish that I were, so I wouldn't have to sit here and talk to assholes like him who's yanking and twisting and wiggling it on the phone there and can't even get his goddamn act together. Here's Orlando. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Okay, sir.
I got a two-part call for you.
Okay. Part
First
one.
thing is a bet. I bet my dad says that your first car in Boston was a 1960 blue Corvair.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Right.
Oh, that bastard won the bet.
Well, what difference does it make? Why would you make a bet on what my first car was?
Because I was interested.
Okay. Well.
Okay, second thing is, I got a little, like a cable access show up here in Orlando.
Yeah.
And I tried to call you last night at home, but your number isn't listed.
Uh-huh.
Imagine that.
Right.
But I was wondering if you could maybe, like Sunday night, if you're like not too busy, you could maybe call in, because I pay homage to you every week on my program.
Sure, no problem. Okay, let's go to Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil, how are you?
Okay.
Great. Listen, I ran home at 11 o'clock trying to hear the bridge tenor. Can you please play it for me?
You really thought I was going to play it?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Please.
I'll work on
Thanks.
it. Okay, pal. Open line and date. He ran all the way home just to hear the goddamn bridge tender. How do you like that? Sounds like a real idiotic to me. Open line in the purple and the whatever that is. What color is that? Green, kind of like a darker shade of green, or is it a whiter shade of at 1-800-944-9463? That guy in Orlando, I appreciate all the adulation and all the fondling and caressing and stuff like that. But quite frankly, from that distance, I can't even feel it. Here's Deerfield. Hello. Open line in Dade, 751, one in Broward, 524, one on the green line, 1-800-944-9463, 1-800, where do the assholes come from? Where have they been? Like I said, forced sterilization is the only answer for this country. I know it sounds radical. I know it sounds Hitleresque, something like that. But I say that's the only answer for the future of America, the only way to save this country from self-immolation, baby. Because it is, so anyway, we got the movie on here. What is this? Did we discover this is A&E? What is it?
We haven't discovered yet.
It don't really make any difference. Romeo and Juliet.
I think it's American movie classics because A&E has commercials.
In color, no less, with Leonard Whiting and Olivia Hussey. No relation to Charlie Hussey from Calder Racecourse. Here's Boca on the purple line. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
I mean, if you're innocent, I mean, why do you hide and hire an attorney, an expensive attorney, if you're innocent?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're innocent, you have nothing to hide, and you just come out and say exactly what happened.
Why ain't he talking to the police? That's all I want to know. Why is he not talking to the police, and why is Drew Rosenhaus running around shooting off his big stupid mouth, making all kinds of excuses, and somehow suggesting that he ain't going to get a fair shake under any circumstances? So, that's just a way of saying, well, that's it. And unless they're going to arrest him, that's all we got to say.
He's getting a lot of free publicity, This way, if any of the other football players, have problems like that, they know who to go to.
There you go. Maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe he's going to be a professional hitman. You ever think about that?
I was thinking about the Michael Jackson.
He's a hit.
What he's trying to look like is that guy on his video, that Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Same exact face.
Yeah, same puss.
Did you hear that he's making a new Pepsi commercial?
Likely story.
No, I swear to God, he's making a new... that kid that sucks himself into the bottle?
Yeah, okay. We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD, and one in... Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah, I do know that kid that I think he's called Ron Jeremy Jr. Anyway, it's 11:30 at WIOD. I will say this, the audience has certainly been creative and some almost stimulating the last couple of days as opposed to the first 2 days of the week. But hey, after playing the same tape 47 times, Steve Dickel, what do you expect, okay? Boy, oh boy, this guy, I sure hope they're having their listening session over there today because, man, you talk about a guy who's sitting back, I know, with a big, his feet up on the desk there, drinking a few martinis and having a great time and talking about what a fantastic job, all these fabulous rejoins and about these big contests we're having on here, which, by the way, we got one starting Monday that we're running promos for, and George and I have no idea how it's going to work or what it's all about. Here's Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Welcome
late,
back.
But yeah, from your vacation.
Yeah. Well, listen, you better do it fast because before you know it, I'll be going on the next one.
I am pretty sure you will.
I will, and I can't wait.
Hey, let me say something first. If everybody keeps on saying you have a kickback from it, the only kickback you get from it is knowing that it worked for you.
Right.
So what's the big deal? And do you think that diet would work for Hank Goldberg?
I don't think there's any help there.
Anything else. Also, what was that you were saying about the Kendall Toyota show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want Dr. Atkins on there. That'll be the end of his career.
Yeah, but will they have him with you?
No, I don't. You think I'm going on there? They're finished with me. I'm not going on that thing.
Oh, because I didn't get a chance to see you when you were first on.
You missed nothing. Have a great day, pal. Another guy that's desperately in need. We have an open line in Dade, 751-9463, 751-WIOD, baby. Hold on to the sides of the chairs. The suction's getting heavy duty. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing today?
Okay, sir.
It's great to have you back. I'm an avid listener.
Welcome back, Neil.
Oh, it's great. We missed you a lot.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you this morning.
Ask me if I missed being here a lot.
Oh, I know you didn't miss
Ask me if I thought about this dump while I was over there having a great time.
Well, Phil took care of everything. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And, he ran his show good. Now it's his turn for a little break.
Right.
And, we were talking this morning over breakfast about you at Pompano Park. We didn't even know that Alan had died.
Yeah.
And we were just comparing the showmanship of both of you, and you guys are both remarkable. The sport will miss him a lot.
He was 1 in a billion. I've never known anybody else like him in my life. He was a hell of a guy.
The promotions were fat.
We have an open line in Broward. Well, he asked me if the state of Florida is full of shot, and he just, they keep dotting it, okay? What's dot? Must have a lot of Indians calling. I don't mean like Seminole Indians, but I mean from the old country, from overseas India. They keep dotting the I in there. Just get that dot out of there, baby. Yes, the state is full of crap as usual, and you get tired of it. They just wear you down. It's like with the thoroughbreds, which is why I have no interest in that at all anymore, because you got the three guys, you got Calderon, Gulfstream, and Hialeah every year, year after year, like a bunch of crybabies fighting and all the intrafraternal squabbling. Public is sick of it, okay? That's why I got nothing but the same old people out there every goddamn day. And you got a state with a bunch of retards up there in Tallahassee, and they're regulating stuff that they know nothing about. And they got this bitch Debbie Miller up there, who's like a professional, whatever the hell she is, a professional misfit, running around. And Lawton keeps putting her in this slot and in that slot, if you pardon that expression. And she, one thing is consistent about her: no matter what slot she's in, she still don't know what it's all about. We got your slot right over here, Debbie. 1134 at WIOD. There's no
610 WIOD. If your boss doesn't listen, then you know why your job's no fun.
Sister Mary Catherine, Jesus.
These are the real stories of Batman's Night Patrol.
Batman, Batman, where you gonna go? Where you gonna go when you're out of super foes? Batman, Batman.
Well, crime fighting isn't what you think. Sure, you have your supervillains, but when they're all locked up, you deal with the same things all law enforcement personnel deal with. Hang on. What have you got, Robin?
Big domestic squabble, Batman. Dawson City Trailer Park.
I'm on it. All right, sir. Can you tell me what happened?
I didn't mean to push her, Batman. I didn't mean to. But she's making fun of my shows on the TV, and that just set me off some awful.
I see.
Ma'am,
are you all right?
He's an animal. He didn't have no right to do what he done. I want you to whoop him Batman style right now.
Let's go, sir. Into the Batmobile.
No, you bail me out.
Watch your head. Robin, I'm en route to Gotham Jail. Meet me there. I want to break out Riddler. This crap depresses the hell out of me.
Batman, Batman, glad you ain't a cop. Glad you ain't a cop, or you throw your rubber top. Batman, Batman.
He was his ward, not his pedophile. Okay, it's 11:39 at WIOD. That's what the women of America are watching. The same women that are raising all those kids out there, millions and millions of them. They're sitting and watching all that crap. All the contrived fist fights, all the trailer park trash, all the yahoos on there. And they think it's real. They sit there. They haven't got any idea whether it's real, whether it's fantasy, whether it's make-believe, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Mary, whether it's Mohammed, whether it's Saul. Here's a lady in Palm Beach. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
I hate to have to follow up with that because the question I have for the Dr. Atkins diet does revolve around pregnancy and children.
Yes.
I had a baby 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I am pretty active and...
and you think I'm going to be able to answer this question?
No. I know that you had several callers call in, and I can't always listen to you.
Right.
And I tried to call the 1-800-ATKINS number.
Yeah.
But there is... he's using that for a pager now. As a matter of fact, I just dialed it this morning. The question I have is that I run a lot, and I still have like 10 pounds to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if that diet would be feasible for someone like me. If you've had any callers call in and say that.
Well, what do you mean, someone like you? I don't get it. Why not?
Meaning that I have 10 pounds to lose, and then I'm just wondering how the carbohydrates, if the loss of carbohydrates would affect running, for instance, running like almost 40 miles a week.
40 miles a week?
Maybe less.
Well, that article in Playboy that I talked about the other day, that guy, that Sears guy, he says if you're going to be doing a lot of strenuous exercise, get rid of the carbohydrates.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Well, that answers that.
Well, it doesn't answer it, but I'm just telling you what he said. That's not, you're going to have to try it for yourself and see how you feel.
Uh-huh. Sears. Sears, you said, is the name?
Right.
Okay. I'll pick that up.
The book is called The Zone. See, but now we're starting with another book again. It's in this August Playboy, page 32. And I know you don't want to go out and buy...
Can't wait to pick that up.
Huh?
No, I'm just kidding.
I know you don't want to go out and buy Playboy magazine, but go into a bookstore and, leaf through it and pretend you're looking at the pictures like you're a bull dyke or something.
Oh, I will.
And look on page 32 and read the article there, and you'll pick up some interesting stuff.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. I'll probably pick up a lot more than just that.
I'll bet. Okay.
Take it easy.
See ya. I know where you can get rid of it. We have two open lines in the green lines, 1-800-944-9463. Here's Miami. Buenos dias.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, I spoke to you 2 weeks ago. I told you that I had a minor heart attack. I was 27 years old.
Yes.
And I told you I was going to go on a diet.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on a diet. It's been 2 weeks, and I lost 20 pounds.
Oh!
Also, my blood pressure, I was on a blood pressure pill.
Right.
It started dropping and dropping and dropping. I'm off the pill.
In how long?
In 2 weeks. And I feel great, but the only problem that we're having, we're doing this as a family thing too, and our problems is the nitrites. There's nitrites in bacon, there's nitrites in ham, there's nitrites in everything. So we called the Atkins Center, and it told us to look for slab bacon, but that also has nitrites in it. So we can't, I don't know what, you had bacon yesterday, but all of them that I've seen has nitrites in it.
Yeah, well, nothing's perfect. It's not a perfect world.
Okay.
But that's not going to affect your weight loss.
No, okay. It's not? Then, because it says no nitrites whatsoever in anything.
Right, well, of course. You try for perfection, but you're never going to get it. And if you get, healthy choice cold cuts, I think if you look on the label, you'll find that they don't...
Some of them do.
Some of them do, and so get the ones that don't.
The only ones that don't have is a turkey, and that's it. All the other ones do.
All of them?
Yep. We looked at all the packages in the store, and people look at us like we're crazy,
Jesus.
But,
well, you have to move to Europe, I guess, where they still make things without all the preservatives because you buy them on the same day that they bring it in.
Right. Okay, Neil. Thank you very
good luck,
much.
Pally. Keep it up. Okay, we have an open line in Dade, 751-210's Green Lines, 1-800-944-9463. Here's Tamarack. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
That guy earlier said you were getting a cutback this Saturday. Did you catch that?
A kickback, yeah.
No, he said a cutback.
Oh, is that what he said?
Your cutback.
Maybe he needs to be cut back. Maybe we get Sife the Knife to take care of him.
Unbelievable. I got a question. Did anybody bring up to you, since when you were out of town last week, there was an article in the paper that the FCC is going to be clamping down on decency on radio as well till midnight?
No, all that is that there was the U.S. Appeals Court in Washington that, the 1987 ruling they had about indecent speech and all that crap, they just upheld it. And they said the FCC still, I think it's until 10 o'clock at night, or 8 o'clock, whatever the hell it is. It's a bunch of crap is what it is.
I don't know. I say it was one of his.
And now they're also going to decide about violent programming on television. Let me say it again. Nobody with a brain in this country, which doesn't cover too much territory, but nobody in a brain wants the government censoring speech, okay? It's unconstitutional, it is unacceptable, and they can kiss my fat ass.
Well, it just sounded like the FCC's got a new boss now, and he's saying there's the old boss.
No, it's just the same old crap.
All right. Well, in closing, can you play Learning to Spell with Darnell?
Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 524-9463. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hi, Neil. Good morning.
Yes,
Got
sir.
A spy report, I hope, that's worthwhile.
Yes.
Do you think you're operative? It's from the OJ, unfortunately, yesterday. Chris Darden asking a witness, the Mongoloid on there. Did you ever say to your girlfriend, Patricia Barrett, that I'm an asshole? Honest to God.
Yeah, I heard about that. I never saw that clip. For some strange reason, Court TV never decided to show that
Well,
again.
they didn't replay it, I guess, because of the word. It came across live on Channel 7, and Patrick Frazier, everyone there panicked. I guess they don't have a dump button on TV.
Patrick Frazier, he's a real...
asshole!
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he panicked, and he said, he muttered something about, hey, this is daytime TV. Children may be watching. We're going to commercial
God
now.
forbid. We don't want children to hear the word
asshole.
That's America, man. The public has been brainwashed into believing there's something terrible about words. Sex is dirty. The human body is dirty. Words are dirty. We're talking about a 2-year-old sandbox mentality in this goddamn country, and Jesse Helms and company are leading the people right down the pike with this crap.
Well, if your operatives can penetrate the archives,
don't say penetrate. We can't say that either.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I said it.
And especially don't say penetrate and asshole in the same sentence. That's really bad. Jesse gets real upset about that.
When the witness first denied the first question, Darden came right back with, did you refer to me as an asshole?
Yeah.
And it would have been great.
And what did he say?
Nothing. That's when they interrupted, I guess. And it would have been great if the Dream Team would have stood up in unison at that point. Great theater. They would have said, "We rest our case, Your Honor." And
I'm so mad at both of you guys.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Anyway, in a courtroom of law.
Exactly. Isn't that great? Law in America, baby. Yep. Yeah. And then, of course, the judge puts on a big act, and he's so mad, and he's going to have to take a 15-minute break and go back and eat some more sushi and cool off and all that other crap, you know.
Right.
All a big act. All big showbiz.
It is funny.
Good luck to us, pal.
Funny as hell.
Okay,
right?
see you at Brian, what's-his-name's house. See ya. Blades. How soon they forget. See? And what about, and nobody thinks it's unusual that Benny Blades broke his fist? I want to see if he's got like a cut finger there on the middle finger, or which finger it is. Benny Blades has got a cut on his finger. What does that tell you? And he lives like right next door. Now we're starting to piece all of this together, baby. 11:47 at WIOD. Harness racing fans, here's an exciting week at Pompano Park again, now into the summer racing schedule, with racing on Monday, on Friday, and Saturday nights. Tomorrow night, the feature race will be the first leg of the Gator Pace for 2-year-old Colts and the Seminole Pace for 2-year-old fillies. Tomorrow night is family night at Pompano Park with 50-cent beers, hot dogs, and sodas all night long. And again tomorrow night, a lucky fan will win round-trip airfare for 2 to anywhere that Carnival Airlines flies, including Los Angeles, New York, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas. This Saturday night is a double special night. In addition to the usual $1,000 cash giveaway to some lucky stiff out there, Pompano Park this Saturday will give away a trip for 2 to Harness Racing's greatest race, the Hambletonian at the Meadowlands. The trip includes airfare, hotel, car rental, and admission and parking at the Hambletonian. Be at the track this weekend, Pompano Park, Monday, Friday, and Saturday. First post time, 7:30.
610 WIOD. Expanding your mind. And a few other body parts, too.
Hey, look for me, Sonny Hirsch, on WINZ this August.
Coming soon to a theater near you. He was everybody's favorite dolphin. And he's coming back with a new partner.
Oh, yeah, Flipper's Hipper here in the 90s. He's hanging out with crocodiles on Z.
Good day, Flipper.
Yo, Crackman, what's up?
Well, I'm worried, my friend. I don't know how we're going to make our new movie interesting.
Yo, word up! I'm all over that, homie. I'm just gonna flash a fresh smile and do some breakdancing on the breakwater.
A rapping dolphin. Now that's a movie.
Yo, the money be rolling in, G. We out of here. See ya.
And now Flipper's trying for a screen comeback. He's going New Jack. He's a homie.
Flip your magic twanger, Flipper. It's 11:51, or is that Luke? We have an open line in Dade, 751, one on the green line, 1-800. They haven't got naked yet, have they, here in Romeo and Juliet? But they're working on it. I'll tell you one thing. I'll say it again. He's a hell of a lot prettier than she'll ever be. Here's Davey. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir?
How are you?
Okay.
I, like you, last week I went on vacation and blew my dad. Did you start over, like, from day one again?
You blew the diet.
I blew it. Well,
yeah.
I
thought he said something else, didn't you, George? I thought he said something else. Maybe it was on Father's Day.
I basically stayed on it. I just added alcohol.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. All right.
Squirt, squirt.
Now, what is it?
Well,
that's what it sounded like he said.
I went off the
I didn't know whether to scream or push bananas up. Now, what is it?
I went off the diet.
Okay, don't say blew the diet.
I didn't go off it. I just added alcohol.
Yeah. Well, get off the booze, man. Get off the sauce.
Well, I was in Vegas, and I was having a good time.
Okay, well, if you're on vacation, it's all right. So, and what happened now?
Well, I started, I didn't know if you had to or not, but I'd like...
You have to go right back. Have to go right back to scratch.
Right back
if I can say that, yeah.
Okay. One of the things, if you can ask, since I already have the book, I don't need to go to the signing.
Right.
I have a problem with the vitamin things.
Why?
Well, could you ask them if there's like a brand name vitamin that you're supposed to, that's best? Because I looked on my multivitamin jar.
Yeah.
With a magnifying glass, and like only half of them are in the list that has his list.
Yeah.
If there is like a name brand...
Well, they peddle a bunch of stuff from that Atkins Health Center. They sent me some of it yesterday, but I don't think you really need to buy it from them.
No, I was just wondering if there's a name brand you
Well,
could have.
somebody will call, okay?
And also, have you
one
ever...
of our thousands of guinea pigs out there.
Have you ever heard of Morton's in Vegas? Steakhouse?
I've heard of it. Never been there.
Wow.
Great, huh?
Wow. It's like the Rosewood Grill.
Right.
Bring your platinum card.
Mm-hmm.
It is the best steak I ever had in my life.
Where is it?
You know that shopping mall that's like next to Treasure Island?
There's a shopping mall next to Treasure Island?
Yeah. Well, it would be like down the street from Treasure Island.
You're
Actually, it's like right down the street from the Rosewood Grill, like 1 or 2 blocks.
You're not talking about. You're not talking about the big fashion show mall, are you?
I don't know what it's called, but there's a big shopping mall there.
Well, that's it, the fashion show.
And it's in the back part of the mall. It's like a separate entrance.
Okay.
The best steak I ever had in my life.
I'll put it down.
But
Got you down.
bring your platinum card.
No problem. Okay, pal.
Bye.
Good luck to you. Open line in Broward, 524-9463, 1 on the green line, 1-800-944. Here's Parkland. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing, good buddy?
Okay.
Nice to talk to you. I've been listening to you since I left Dick Purton about 12 to 14 years ago.
Yeah.
I've got a question on the diet. Are the vitamins compulsory to take or not?
Sure.
They are, okay, because I started the diet about a week and a half ago. Just got the book, and I'm starting to be able to see my toes.
Great. God only knows what'll pop up next.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Can I call somebody a douchebag?
Yeah.
Beth, you're a beautiful douchebag.
Okay, sweetheart.
Thanks, Neil.
See ya. Open line on the purple line, pound IOD, and one on that Boca line, baby. It's just sitting there, just waiting to start percolating, just waiting to start doing something. Believe it? I don't. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Como va hoje?
It's not such a good morning, though.
Why not?
Of course, of a loss that I knew pretty well. I knew Alan, but I knew his son Michael on a personal level up in Pompano.
Yeah.
The house there.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, do you know Hurricane Man?
What does that mean?
He's like a big guy who passed away in '91.
No.
I happened to be his brother, though.
Yeah.
But they were very close, Michael and my brother Robert.
And Hurricane Man, yeah.
And it's just a sad thing what happened, though.
Yeah.
I only found out today.
Well, it's a sad thing, but, because Alan was a great friend of mine for 20 years, but on the other hand, when somebody is dying of bone cancer like that and has gone through the pain and the suffering that he has for, a long time now, there reaches a point where you finally say, at least he's gone to rest now and doesn't have to suffer anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the mother's, she's always been overprotected of Michael. Like, where are you going,
Yeah,
Michael?
okay, well, that's gregreat. We have an open line in Broward, 524, 1 on the green line, 1 oh, God almighty. See, we'll start getting Mike Finkelson's friends calling in now, and we'll have some answers as to why Dad's laying there in the box. Anyway, let's go to Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I took my lunch hour for the bridge tender. Please play it.
Oh,
Thanks. Come on.
You must be off your rocker.
Please? Come on, 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes before news.
But it's 2:21. I only got 3.5 minutes, so if you say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about bridges,
About
cars,
what?
and boats that you talked about earlier.
About what?
Bridges, cars, and boats.
No, we're talking about bridges over the causeway, not the ones in your mouth.
I don't have any, my friend.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
Calm down, sir. Take a deep
Fine
breath.
and dandy. Those are regulated by the United Corps of Engineers. You knew that, didn't you?
No.
Well, it is. All bridges over navigable waterways.
See, if I knew that, I wouldn't have been asking, see?
What's that?
I said if I knew the answer to the question, I wouldn't have asked it in the first place.
Okay, well, all I'm saying, sir, is that the United States Corps of Engineers are the ones that regulate bridges over navigable waterways.
Over what?
Navigable waterways.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's up to them to decide what time the bridges should not be open to the marine traffic.
Yes. And what time should they not be open to marine traffic, sir?
I'm telling you that they come up with the times.
Well, what is the time?
I believe it's at rush hour times, sir, that they are not open to marine traffic. Other than that, they are open to marine traffic.
So, in other words, any schlep with a boat can come along and back up traffic for 2 miles.
That is absolutely correct, sir.
Well, what kind of a communist bunch of crap is that?
That is not a communist bunch of crap, sir.
Sounds like some kind of Neanderthal fascist, commie, pinko conspiracy to me.
Automobiles to one boat.
Right, exactly.
And a boat is going to stop for 5,000 cars? Is that it?
No, I think that 50,000 cars ought to stop for one jackass in his boat. I think that's what they ought to do.
Man, you better know your laws, mister, because you sure don't.
That's right.
I suppose you want the damn bridges closed to boat traffic in a hurricane, too.
I want the bridges closed, period, okay? I want them closed. I want the bridge tender to go home and watch MTV and get the hell out of our lives.
In other words,
I want those bridges closed. Let him use the Julia Tuttle, okay? Let him use the MacArthur Causeway. I think they ought to go on the George Washington Bridge and jump all the bridge tenders. How do you like that, sir?
Well, I don't know about you, but you sound like some stupid, idiotic jerk. Stupid, idiotic jerk. Stupid, idiotic jerk. 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 Jerk.
Yeah. See, he didn't realize he was going to get a little bonus action on there, too. How do you like that? Just a little bit extra because the guy made up that story about how he rushed home and he took his whole lunch hour to hear the goddamn bridge tender. You talk about a boring-ass town. What does that tell you? We have an open line in Dade, 751-WIOD, one in Broward, 524, one on the Green Line, one on the... Oh, and by the way, the bitch at night, she has really got it down to a fine science now. She has got it honed down. She is really doing it, okay? You notice one thing? There's absolutely no crossover. When we come back after the news, I want to hear from one person in this audience who admits that they listen to the old Passion Bone at night. Just one.
The radio station other stations wish they could be. News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.